Hey guys, welcome back to Harbour Unboxed. Today I have what I hope will be a pretty cool video for you guys. Basically, as you know, Kaby Lake was just released, and although it wasn't super exciting, it's still a really efficient, really powerful platform, especially if you pick up something like the 7700K. Speaking of which, I've grabbed a spare 7700K processor, and I plan to make a pretty special build with it. I reached out to the good folks at Thermaltake and told them that I plan to build, let's just say, a pretty epic build this time. As some of you probably remember, or hopefully remember, not that long ago we did a really cool custom hardpipe liquid cooled build with Thermaltake in their Core P3 chassis. When they were releasing that chassis, they wanted to do something pretty cool with it, and we said, you know, let's do that build. And they went for it, and we put together a hell of a rig, which we're still using today and very much love it. Anyway, Kaby Lake's here, and we thought, let's go bigger and hopefully better. So yeah, Thermaltake has provided their new Tower 900 case, which we'll look at in a moment. But they've also provided not one, but two of their hardpipe. What is it? That's the Pacific RL360 kit. So we have not one, but they're quite heavy. Two of these. So it'll be a dual loop system. And yeah, it's probably going to take a fair bit of time to put together, but we're going to get started. For this video, we'll look at all the parts, because I'm not even 100% sure of everything that's going into it. There is a lot of hardware, but it's all worked out and been delivered, so we'll get through it. So yeah, there's these two kits, which you will have, if you've watched the P3 build series, you will have seen what's in these kits, but basically you get a 360mm radiator, pump and a large reservoir, 3 fans with fan controller, number of fittings, your hard tubes, CPU water block, and just all the stuff to connect that, and some liquid. So yeah, we'll end up with 2 CPU blocks. We'll only need 1. I'll quickly just go through it actually. So we have a pair of these very thick 360mm radiators, and they're going to go in either side of the case, but we'll look at that shortly. I believe both kits come with the red liquid, though we won't be using the red liquid for this build. The colour scheme will be, I think, black, white, and blue. Similar pump to what we used last time. The Pacific W1 water block, which is different to the water block we used for the Core P3 build. This one isn't the acrylic block, so not quite as flashy, but still cool looking block, and it will do the trick nicely. You got something to jumpstart your power supply, so you can test the loop without powering up all your components, so nothing will be shorted if there is a leak. And we have a number of fittings. These will be the fittings that come in the kit. I think Thermaltake have provided a few extra fittings, so we'll check that in a moment. And a trio of their Ring 120mm RGB fans with the fan controller, which will be somewhere in the package. It's probably in the box actually. Anyway, they're cool, and some hard pipes. So that will be useful when we get to building. I wonder if they're going to be long enough. I've got a couple of longer ones somewhere. We may have to use them, because I don't know if they're going to be long enough for the Tower 900. And when I rip this case out in a minute, you'll see what I'm talking about. So basically we've got double of everything you've just seen. I'm not sure what's in this box. It's very light. Looks like we just have this in here, whatever this is. These are the same TT mod sleeve cables that we used for the P3 build, so they're the black and blue ones. So that will help finish the build off. And we have a smaller but much heavier box. Okay, so we have very cool looking white coolant here. Very cool. Another bottle of red, which is interesting because I'm pretty sure we're meant to be using black and white. So I might have to double check my notes on that and then speak to Thermaltake. They've actually upgraded us to the Pacific W3 block. So I looked at the W1 block a moment ago. It looks like we're using Oh, we are. Awesome. We have the acrylic block, which is what we used last time, and it looks very awesome. So we won't be using this block. Yeah, the nice acrylic block. Last time we stuck some clear LEDs underneath, and it lit the block up and the liquid inside it, and that looked really cool. One of the coolest effects of the whole build, actually. Okay, a few more plugs. They could be useful. Couple more fittings. And what do we have here? Some 90-degree fittings. Wow, a lot of 90-degree fittings. But for a dual loop system, we're probably going to need quite a few. So as you can see, we're using chrome fittings for this one, and there's one of the 90-degree bends. So yeah, the liquid I'm going to have to look into, because I'm pretty sure we're meant to be using white and black. And part of the reason that is because this is the motherboard we'll be using for the build. So this is Gigabyte's new Aorus brand, Z270 motherboard, and it is the Z270X Gaming 7. So there's the box there. And yeah, it's an awesome looking motherboard. Has what looks like it's got some cool LED lighting between the DIMM slots there. I believe there's some LED lighting below the PCI Express slots and some up here in the I/O cover. So yeah, a very cool looking motherboard, and that'll be the center of our build. So the grand finale, what this is going to be built in is the Tower 900. Now I don't know if you guys have seen or heard about this case yet. It's a brand new case from Thermaltake. It's probably their biggest ever. And yeah, it's called the Tower 900. We have the white or snow edition version of the case. And the box weighs about 30 kilos. I'll show you why in a minute when you see the size of it. So it's got 3 thick tempered glass panels. Oh, don't even think that will fit in the frame. How about that if I managed to fit the whole thing in? As you can see, it is a massive case. Well, it's a massive box, but I presume the case inside is fairly large as well. Let's take it apart and find out. Wow. Oh. So, that there is the Tower 900. Oh, jeez. I'm going to have to get a lot fitter if I plan on moving this thing around more in the future. So, Gigabyte's new Z270 motherboard is probably going to look quite small in there. I think it'll be orientated something like that, up about there. But yeah, plenty of room for expansion. We shouldn't have any trouble at all fitting the dual loop system in there. Should be plenty of room to work. I'm very, very keen to see how it all looks when it's done. But yeah, this little bar fridge definitely makes for a very cool case, but it's not something you're going to want to be moving ever, really. Pretty much build it where you're going to put it and leave it there, because yeah, it's heavy. I suppose if you remove the tempered glass panels, that would reduce the weight significantly if you had to move it a lot, because I can't even begin to imagine how heavy this thing is going to be once we have all the hardware inside. A heap of liquid, the radiators, the pumps, graphics card, hard drive, the whole lot. It's going to be nudging, I reckon, 50 kilos full. It'll be interesting. We might have to try and weigh it. So I will be documenting the whole build process, but right now I have to be honest, I really have no idea how I'm going to route all the tubes and connect everything up. Yeah, so I'll probably just play that one by ear, see how we go. I'll probably do what we did with the Core P3 build, and that is fit the motherboard, the graphics card, all the hardware, and then work out, you know, well, put the reservoir in the pump, the radiators, all that sort of stuff. And then sort of, yeah, start to visualize how I'm going to connect everything up and what will look best. But yeah, that'll probably be in part 2 or 3 of this series. I'm not quite sure how many parts there'll be. It really depends on how long it takes me to build this thing. I really have no idea at this stage, but we'll get into it and we'll see where we end up. So, with that, I think we've had a good look at most of the bits. There'll still be Well, there's things like the memory. I'm not quite sure what I'll be using there just yet. We also have the power supply. I'll probably be using something around an 850 watt model or thereabouts, but we'll see. Then I have to pick an SSD, probably use something like the Samsung 960 Pro. What else have we got to work out? Then just some hard drives, some bigger hard drives for storage. And yeah, for the graphics card, I won't be using the GTX 1080 or the Titan XP for this build. I will be using just a lowly 1070, so we'll have to make do with that, but I'm sure it'll be fine. And yeah, I'm not really sure what the purpose or point of this build will be, apart from the fact that it's just going to be awesome. So what more do you need, right? Anyway, that's all for this one. I expect an update with some build progress very shortly. So anyway, I'll catch you guys next time. See ya.